All right, welcome back everyone for another Super Metroid multi-category randomizer tournament 2022 matchup. We have today a matchup between Diddy on the left and Tilimorf on the right. In round 6 here of the Swiss, both runners coming in at 3-2, fighting to keep their tournament playoff hopes alive, hanging on by a thread really. And I think we're going to have a good one here. We've got the week 6 settings, of course, are boss shuffle, light area shuffle, and Chozo distribution for the major minor items. So an interesting setting for sure this week. We've seen some of those really devious, convoluted late power bomb and late super missile seeds. And we've also seen some that really lined up and seen runners really get funneled directly to the areas, directly to the connections they wanted, and getting both suits in charge early. Those are really, really key in this setup. So, we'll see what we get here today as Diddy and Tilimorf are underway, both heading left as would be required of them. So we're going to see them go down Get Morph. It's going to look pretty typical here for the first couple minutes. But then rather than get their second major item in the ceiling, as would be typical for normal major minor, the second major item will be at the Chozo statue at the Alpha Missiles location through Construction Zone. And so the way the majors are distributed and the logic is built in this really only regards the Chozo locations as important. And so the runners will, through going just to the Chozos that they logically have access to, be able to acquire all of the ammunition and items they would need in order to complete the game. That's sort of the gambit of the Chozo randomizer. So it'll be 2 missile packs, 2 supers, 3 E-tanks, 1 reserve, the suits, the movement items, the beams, all of those things, distributed just among where the Chozo statues are. We see here we got Morph Ball and Missiles to kick this one off. Missiles, not really what you want to see out of your inaugural non-morph Chozo statue. So we'll see if that portends something bad for the runners. And I may have gotten a little ahead of myself. I'm maniacal. I'm going to be commentating today. And of course, we also have our tracker here. We have Stack on tracking is going to actually be taking care of most of the relevant things. And here we have in the Beta Missiles location, Power Bombs, an E-tank that is not part of the logic, and also Power Bombs that are not considered as part of the logic. And we actually see Tilimorf making a decision to go up and look at Billy Mays. Again, not logical items up here, but there are available items. And so if these end up being highly relevant minors, could play a big role in the race. There are first supers up here. Now these, again, will not be logically relevant. We'll see if Diddy can get this mock ball here. He does have an extra hit to give because of this extra E-tank. But the free strat here is to get this mock ball and roll right on in, and perfectly done by Diddy. But also getting supers there and finding the criteria connection, one of the criteria connections to Green Brinstar with each minor in hand. Diddy is going to be really happy to see this. We'll see if Tilimorf also checks that connection. I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, I also wouldn't be surprised to see the runners push the logic a little harder either. So looks like Tilimorf was waffling a little bit and has decided to go up the elevator. So very early divergence for us here today. And our third Chozo statue is just a reserve tank. Yeah, Slow Guy in the chat highlighting that Tilimorf did expend quite a few PBs going up and back down from Billy Mays. And that's one of the reasons that Billy Mays tends to not be a play you'll see people make in these area seeds, is it does make that play over into a potential Green Brin or even a potential soft lock situation. Not that desirable. And Chozo supers here for Diddy. So this is interesting. This could portend that this is maybe part of sort of the logical path and what the seed really wanted you to do, provided that the power bombs are up here somewhere. Now, this statue, not in logic yet for Tilimorf because it does require bombs or power bombs. But we'll see. I would expect to see power bombs show up probably at Bomb Chorizo. That's one of my favorite features of Chozo logic, really, is that you're going to often find progressive pieces and things that you can use away from your Chozo statues, especially with key miners early. And then where the actual progression miner gets buried really can tell you a lot about what other items are out there. Because there's some really interesting logical restrictions in Chozo, like, for instance, Crocomire requires Charge Beam, logically, because your ammo is viewed as insufficient for taking care of that fight. And as I'd expected, the seed wasn't all that devious here, did just put the Chozo power bombs there at Bomb Chorizo. But that's at least going to tell Tilimorf something about what's up with the seed. Also, did get that plasma beam out of the 230 missiles location. Is now in logic. Not sure what logical plasma beam is going to buy him. Gets him the plasma check eventually, but we are quite far away from that. And we see a play up toward Gauntlet here from Tilimorf. This is a good check, although an out of logic check still. And we saw high jump boots at the Brinstar Reserve Chozo. This early divergence really keeping me on my toes a little bit, but on Diddy's toes, he's got the high jump boots, so he's going to be able to jump a little higher, a lot higher, really, and could be part of the logic. Could be an important piece, but we'll hope not. Another quirk about the Chozo logic is that because all of the major locations, or the Chozo locations that are attributable to Meridia, are behind Dragon. Now, of course, because we have Boss Shuffle, Dragon may not be at Dragon. Generally, you're not going to expect to see a lot of Suitless Meridia in this mode, but, then again, if Gravity is really buried, you may see runners just kind of take things into their own hands. And Diddy is up Green Brinstar. We'll see what transition he gets. He gets a very vanilla-looking transition here, and we're going to see what's going on over here at the Torian entrance, I'm sure. Torian will be, by rules of light area, connected somehow to Crateria. And there we have the front of Wrecked Ship. Back of Wrecked Ship will get us into East Meridia. And the runners narrowly avoiding one another. Tilimorf coming out the back of Gauntlet. I think we're going to see him find Wrecked Ship and Green Bryn. But first, a Terminator check. I like this check. It isn't going to be progression, but I think it's very often worth doing. In Chozo, because you're often beelining between these high-value statues, shout out to Green Pirate Powerbomb drops. Nice drop there for Tilimorf. But because you're often running sort of from one Chozo to the next as you explore these areas, runners oftentimes will find themselves with fewer miners than would be typical for many other item distribution algorithms. Nice Ocean Super Missile miner. Tilimorf is doing a good number of extra miner checks and is making this play into Ocean here. So we'll see if this continues over into Wrecked Ship. Early Wrecked Ship is not something you're going to see all that often in Boss Shuffle, just because you're not going to get the items unless Fantoon is exactly here. And so this is a pretty aggressive play from Tilimorf. I'm wondering what's going on that's motivating this particular play. But we are going to see that pre-Fantoon boss location check save. And we'll see if this is Kraid, it could pay off big. If it's Fantoon, it could pay off huge. Nice high jump Alcatraz there from Diddy. getting back out of Bomb Tree Zone, not wasting any of his 15 precious power bombs, even though he's going to the right. Not sure I understand that call, but really good execution nonetheless. And he is going to take a refill and very likely a save to just lock in that progress here at this cursed-looking Kirby thing. So yeah, we have custom sprites, and that is a choice that Diddy made today, all on his own. He's allowed to do that. And what are we gonna have here at Fantoon? This high jump Alcatraz, or not? Oh yeah, we aren't fighting Ridley right now, and Tilimorf is resetting and thanking his lucky stars they took that safety save, and now he knows. So if charge is really late, we might see Diddy pre-farm for other bosses that could potentially be Ridley, and he might get some of this time back. But we've seen really two entrances to Green Hill Zone. We know the other one's going to give us Red Tower. We're going to have a Red Tower off of Crateria and a Torian off of Crateria that we don't yet know about, that are going to be the right side of the ship. So we might see this Kirby thing at least once more, as I would expect Diddy to run past it, head over, and try and find that Red Tower entrance. That's going to be really where the runners are going to want to go. I think we're going to see some convergence here, as the early loops have sort of exchanged places, and no one really got that much of an advantage. Nevdi, Tilimorf made a play into the ship and found a Ridley, and he's got that information now. That is a piece of information that Tilimorf knows that Diddy doesn't know. And he spent some time to do that and got some super missiles in the ocean, and it wouldn't have been my first choice of play, but I respect it. It's a call that was made. Yeah, exactly. You weren't going to beat Ridley there, and I'm trying to remember where Grapple was. I'm trying to remember if we even had the ability to beat Dragon. But it would have been a slow Dragon, probably, given the energy. Because Tilimorf did do the early gauntlet. I'm seeing the reminder from our tracker stack. Shout out to our tracker, who is much better at remembering where things were than me. That's why I'm not tracking. And Diddy's also going to get this info. Yeah, the portals did line up okay to get this info. Having early grapple and high jump does incentivize it a little bit. Ammo's not too bad if it's Dragon, but like this Dre fight would not be especially quick, even if it is Dre. And it turns out it's Ridley, but like that's good information to know. Diddy, you have 12 power bombs, dude. Like just use one. You can do it. And Tilimorf getting his Chozo supers here. And Diddy is ready. Diddy is deboosting through Ridley. I respect it. Question about the randomization algorithm from Skepticon for what does light area mean as opposed to full area? Full area is basically stuff can be connected however it feels like. Light area is that the connectivity between regions will share the same quantity of connectivity with each other region that it would in the vanilla map. So, for instance, in Crateria, we have already seen one wreck ship connection, which is the total number that Crateria will have. We've seen 2 green Bryn connections, and we know that the other connections are going to be 1 red tower and 1 Torian connection. Red Tower is going to have 6 connections, 1 of which is going to go to Crateria, 3 of which will be into West Meridia, 1 of which will be to Upper Norfair, and one of which will be, somewhere else. I don't know. Where else do we go? We go to Greenbrand. Greenbrand's the other red tower connection. I just completely blanked on the map region name there for a second. But basically half of Red Tower goes into West Meridia, and then you're going to look through Red Tower to find your way into Upper Norfair. Because West Meridia is going to lead you to Meridia, or to East Meridia, where the Dragon location is, back to the wrecked ship, and back inevitably to Criterion, Torian, and a lot of these. So it kind of becomes look for your Upper Norfair, which is what we see Tilimorf is already on. He's into Red Tower and is starting to check those other entrances. And here's one of our many West Meridia connections. Good news for the runners is they're not going to be expected to go down through Main Street, but they might still be expected to go down through Crab Hole. So, we're not in the clear yet from bad Chozo logic, suitless shenanigan area nonsense. Diddy is going to go into Red Tower this way, as opposed to from Greenbrand. Is morphing nicely under the Boyons and is going to get Chozo E-Tanks to match here. One at Spazer, one at Alpha Power Bombs. Two of our Chozo locations in Red Tower. There's one more at X-Ray that I think we'll probably see both runners check. There's some possibility, but we've now seen 3 Chozo tanks. We saw a reserve, as well as 2 E-Tanks, of which each runner knows about 1. And that, to me, looks like a License to Hell run. So we'll see if the runners take it the same way. Diddy is taking it up the elevator here. See what we find here, and Tilimorf is taking it in the toes here, stepping on a little too many spikes. And Diddy finds a transition he does not want and says, okay, mark it on the map. I know where that goes, where that is, and I want nothing to do with it. Whereas Tilimorf at our third Chozo finds the gravity suit. Diddy is thinking about his plans. I don't expect Diddy to miss the Chozo here at X-Ray, but we'll see if maybe he's just thinking about how he wants to plan this one out. Thinking about the map can be really useful in these settings, honestly, and taking the time that you need to plan out what you're doing can be much better than trying to haphazardly execute while moving between things and then finding out you're moving in the wrong direction. And we have another area connection here. Finding Upper Norfair, both runners. But Tilimorf is going to do due diligence here and head up and get the rest of these Red Tower connections marked off, while Diddy is doing some damage boosting. Not going to want to do too much of that because those spikes do hit for 60 each hit. But we'll see what he does once he gets his gravity suit here. Early gravity in this setting is honestly really scary for me. I don't know what I would do here with 3 Chozo tanks as well as gravity being accessible. This seems like one where we could see the runners make drastically different decisions, especially if a good number of minor tanks show up. And Tilimorf taking another power bomb pack, up to 30. which is that's a lot of power bombs. That's usually more power bombs than you'll see runners take, and Diddy is not deboosting, just stepping on spikes. We'll see if he elects for the Sloater's refill down here. I think it's probably worth the super. He does not. But he will find the Chozo tank here at Spazer, and if he doesn't take that, I think he's a lunatic, but I'm pretty sure he's going to take this. Oh, he's just going to run face first into it, and so he was taking anything there. Which, honestly, we've seen a lot of the Chozo miners. Almost everything that you're going to find there is good. And so, unless it's Spazer, you're pretty much in the clear to face check it. And Tilimorf is making this play into Meridia. Is looking like he's going to make the play through to East Meridia, which is interesting because there's not a whole lot to do in East Meridia Chozo-wise. I don't know about the Crystal Flash clip here for Tilimorf. And Dragon's not dead, so we're probably not getting through Batuan Hallway unless the piece of progression is at exactly Shacktool, which maybe he's taking Grapple, High Jump Boots, and Gravity to be sort of the tell. Thinking differently about East Meridia now. Deciding maybe that wasn't the play that he wanted to make, and looks like Diddy is headed down into Upper Norfolk, so we are seeing some of that divergence. See how this works out. A few pretty easy Chozo statues for Diddy to get, one here at Ice Beam, and then also one down at the High Jump Boots location. And then I think we'll probably see him assess from there what he wants to do. Does have High Jump, can just cleanly morph into that hole. And there is our fourth and final Chozo tank for Diddy. So this is a pretty cozy setup, and there's just not a lot available in Meridia. So I think we're going to see both runners do these early checks here in Upper Norfair. Tilimorf really just behind by a little bit of time on that Meridia that I think maybe was just not thoroughly considered. Because I think the implications of what you can actually get in Chozo in East Meridia here, just, like, it's not great. Without access through Batuan Hallway, it's just, there's not a lot. And finding just X-Ray, so the plurality of available stuff is gonna be behind this Hell Run. You've got Crocomyre's area with a Chozo location at the Grappling Beam location. You've got Kraid's Lair somewhere with a very beatable boss because both runners know that Ridley's in the wrecked ship. And you've got the Chozo locations in the Bubble Mountain area as well. And so, dollars to donuts, that's where the runners need to go for various suit or something like Ice Beam or Speed to get them through Batuan Hallway. And I do like this from Diddy, farming the Sovas on his way in. They have good odds of 20 health drop, and also taking a save to set up for this Hell Run over to Bubble Mountain. Also good odds of a super missile drop, and I like this also, making the door transition about as bad as possible, because realistically the most important thing is minimizing the amount of time you're spending taking heat damage. So you can go ahead and screw that door transition up all you want. And Tilimorf is taking these missiles. And Diddy gets good squeeped RNG, and is able to mock ball cleanly under the squeeps. And Tilimorf also doing a nice little pre-farm, pre-save, and we'll see what approach the runners take to sweeping out the items over here. So Diddy looks like he's going to head and check the Crocomire portal. Nice bonus that you get when you do this is you get to do this blue gate glitch, and if you do it well, you get through with enough health to make it down through here. These guys do hit pretty hard. Now Gravity Suit is going to reduce the enemy damage pretty well. Only going to take about 10 to get over here into the Nutella refill, and that's going to give him the full health refill that he's really looking for. So we've seen the back of Lower Norfair at the top of the Upper Norfair elevator. There is another connection to Lower Norfair here for the front for the Gravitron, Kraid's lair, and Crocomire's lair. And looks like we've got Kraid's lair, and Diddy knows because he scouted Reg ship that this is a beatable boss. So I expect him to just go right in. Things are looking pretty cozy. Looks like he's thinking about the save. See, I would probably have left this E-Tank for after the fight, just in case I'm grapple killing Dragon. But I do like taking the minor tank here. And Tilimorf taking a different approach to this, and is going to dig out Bubble Mountain, doing items before entrances. Philosophically, I like it. It gives him the best equity for when he does find a place to do it the fastest. But is not necessarily progressing the seeds, so we'll see. Screw Attack is a really nice find. We know Lower Norfair is on the horizon somehow. And Diddy does find Dragon, so this is interesting because this Dragon location means that we could be required to take that Gravity Suit and go do some shenanigans going through East Meridia using the toilet to get to behind Botchwound. And with Dragon dead, we'll have that Plasma Beam maybe now logically mattering. So we'll see how this works. It could be Avaria is very buried seed. And Diddy getting a reasonable quick grapple there on Dragon. Not bad. And Tilimorf is sticking to items before entrances. And going to do this this wave beam check. And Diddy finding the Varia suit behind Dragon in Kraid's lair. That's gonna be a big influence on how things go for Diddy for the next handful of minutes. Does need to gravity jump out of here. Thankfully, the frame window is absolutely enormous since he almost has enough jump height anyway. And he gets out cleanly. But we know Tilimorf will eventually find that Varia. You're not going down here into Upper Norfair, not finding Kraid's lair and beating the boss with a no Ridley and wrecked ship. So it's just a matter of how long he takes to farm and to get over there. And looks like he, rather than checking the transition up there, is going to go and say, I'm at low health, I'm going to go and do the Croc transition because that one's got my Nutella refill. And Diddy thinking a little bit about how he wants to approach this. And is going to go up, and I believe we're going to see him grapple across and then say, you know what? Heck, Bubble Mountain, I'm going into the back of Lower Norfair, so might not be getting that screw attack. So this is actually pretty interesting. For all Diddy knows, Charge Beam could be right over there in Bubble Mountain. But with Dragon dead, that kind of incentivizes getting into East Meridia, because you don't need to worry about Batu and hallway. You just kind of have to take the long way around because the boss shuffle. I'm really interested to see how this plays out because Diddy's ammo is, as is typical for Chozo, nowhere near what you would want it to be. But he does, of course, know he's not going to find Ridley down here. He's going to find either Kraid or Phantoon. And Tilimorf actually taking the save pre-boss here. I'm pretty surprised by that choice, just because I feel like that's one of the things that you're trying to leverage as a time save over the Ridley information that you've got, is that you can kind of cut the corners of those saves that runners who didn't scout wreck ship are going to have to take. But I could be missing something here. Tilimorf's ammo is looking a lot cozier here. Already up to 40-30. Only needs to find 6 more super packs to hit the minimum to get chargeless. Chargeless might be something that once he sees Variasuit here, he starts to entertain. I think for Diddy, it's a little further off. But Diddy with, I believe, 6 total tanks right now, getting through Lower Norfair pretty nicely, not getting too badly bullied, and we know the boss here is going to be a pretty cozy boss relative to the Ridley you would normally face when you get to the bottom of this area. Nice quick grapple also from Tilimorf. Both runners getting that one swoop that's guaranteed, and then a slow goose cycle. Not guaranteed, but good to see that the runners have comparably fast Dragon fights. Going for the double Kago there into Metal Pirates. Doesn't quite get there. Oh, having a little trouble with the Metal Pirates here for Diddy. And Tilimorf getting that good gravity jump out of Dragon. I'm really curious to see if we see philosophical differences between Diddy and Tilimorf and how they approach this from here, based on the differences in their current ammo status. Diddy pre-farming some power bombs. It's kind of a free roll. But at the same time, does spend some time dunking into the acid a little bit and finds Phantoon. And so Tilimorf, we'll see what Tilimorf does. Tilimorf has already dug out Bubble Mountain. That's the primary difference at this point between the runners, is that Diddy was able to cut all of Bubble Mountain. And Tilimorf is going back toward Gravitron, which is really interesting because he knows back of Lower Norfair, so he could be thinking about the Screw Attack location. I'd be surprised. But, I can't imagine we see the play to Croc here, because Croc cannot lock Charge Beam. Okay, good. He's leaving the one thing that he is guaranteed that he should absolutely leave. Because Dragon's dead, you can get away without Ice or Speed. Oh, we have an angry Phantoon here. Diddy without Screw Attack, but with a lot of E-Tanks. Should be just fine. But, yeah, I guess this is a want of front of Lower Norfair, so I have to think this is a desire to do the Screw Attack check. And Diddy gets through his Phantoon fight. Spent a little bit extra time with the Enrage. Tilimorf leveraging screw attack, saving a little bit of time here. And Tilimorf is proceeding through Gravitron. We're going to see a nice high jump boots gravity jump there, straight up and in. Cleanly done. Correcting the door transition nicely. And on down the elevator. Diddy just needs to haul here out of lower North Air. Has plenty of health. Shouldn't have any trouble. Tilimorf also has plenty of health, but Tilimorf is not going to screw attack, and I agree with this choice. I fundamentally disagree with the choice to, if you're not committed to screw attack with all the majors in the Bubble Mountain area out of the way, to not go hunt the front of lower North Air when you know the back is at the top of the elevator. So this is a choice that was made, but I'm not going to harp too much on it. I think it probably was just an honest mistake. It's certainly a choice. But we're going to get to see some screens that we aren't probably going to see from Diddy, as he's taking the return trip back through the exit. And yeah, Vibrant Colors in chat is making a fair point that it's very possible that maybe Tilimorf is thinking, I need to find speed or ice, and then realizing on the way like the implications of having Dragon Dead or something. Like, it's hard to keep track of all of these things while playing a lot of the time. I struggle to keep track of them. I'm not even trying to play at this time, but like, I have the advantage of not having to also try and move Samus around the map at the same time as thinking about all the logic. Is doing some extra minor checks and not getting paid off with any supers. Not surprised by this. This is that slight incentive toward just saying, maybe I'm going to go for the ammo. And really nice Metal Pirate here. Really fast Metal Pirates from Tilimorf. Great kills. I like it a lot. And Diddy is going up the crab shaft. Also is looking for miners. And yeah, you want those. You want those, dude. Those are super missiles. Definitely gonna take those. A good point from Simo that also escaping screw attack would have been quite the feat. Would have had to find speed exactly for it to be a Botwoon progression item that would have let him get out. But there's of course the really dumb high jump boots only escape strat, but I just don't think most players are practiced at it. And it's not something that I would expect most players to want to go for in a race. I certainly wouldn't go for it. But Diddy finding a little bit of ammo here in the beach. Not too much back there in the watering hole, but did get a super out of the beach. Tilimorf going for a nice air Doppler. I respect the choice. Overall, having a decent fan tune. Getting that lovely right mid. Gonna clean the fight up just fine. And Diddy is continuing through West Meridia, is going down the way we saw Tilimorf headed earlier. Is thinking about these miners at the Mama Turtle location. And it looks like we may see both runners try to skip charge in this seed. It's interesting because Charge, you can know that it's, not two of the locations, but there are a number of locations with all of Wrecked Ship in play, and then also all of East Meridia having slow major or slow Chozo locations. There are a number of places you don't want to have to go look, and I expect that he's probably going to leave this missile pack. Does anger the Totori there and take a little bit of damage. And we'll see how Tilimorf routes these checks on the exit. We'll see if, like, Fire Fleas gets checked, for instance. And I guess, yeah, Diddy hadn't checked the all the red tower entrances, so wasn't exactly sure where East Meridia was. But we'll be finding East Meridia here soon enough. And we are seeing from Tilimorf that play to Fire Fleas. I like this. Doesn't require door transitions. You go look, and you go get supers. And Diddy finding the slowest way here. But there really is no fast East Meridia with Dragon dead in light area. And that just means that the Aqueduct exit is going to spit us out indirect ship so we can go back and kill Ridley. So, all in all, not too bad. The big thing looming for Diddy is this ammo count of 45, 30, 20. Especially the 30 part. Tilimorf is making these minor checks, unfortunately not finding any more supers after that Fire Fleas one, but at 35 supers is a pack ahead of Diddy. But Diddy is hedging, actually. He's in between the majors and the minors play. Not a strat that, like, I want to endorse, but I do actually not hate the play here. I think Beach may have been a little aggressive, but you're never going through there again. So it depends, like, which Chozo locations is Diddy gonna cut here? If he's really thinking about trying to hunt down Charge Beamer, maybe even Ice. Just Spazer at Plasma, though, so not really what Diddy was looking for. That one's a bit of a letdown. And with Dragon dead, we'll see that this door is open. And Diddy, wow, that was a door choice. We got that one moved as far as we could away from the position it wanted to be in. And Diddy full on super is just going to pick up some health here. And Tilimorf already knows where his East Meridia is, so he's going to go right to it. We'll see what choices Tilimorf makes in East Meridia. I suspect we probably won't see the plasma check, but I don't really know. And so now Tilimorf is going to get to make his choices. Is moving nicely through this miserable room. There really is... There are fast ways and there are slow ways to do this room, but they're all slow. And Diddy is correcting that camera a little. And we knew this was Kraid, but Here it is. There was not a bug. We didn't end up with like 2 Dragons this seed or anything. Kraid's here at Dragon. And Kraid, the various suit location will count as a Chozo item behind Kraid, so I think we'll probably see Diddy check that, hoping for that charge beam. He's going to get to see a little bit more Kraid than maybe he wanted, but that's okay. Has plenty of ammo, will clean it up nicely. And Tilimorf actually grabbing that Spacer Beam in Plasma. I'm surprised. Both runners are really playing the majors and the minors here. And wow, that is a huge find for Diddy. That was basically a best possible there. That's going to be a pure go mode for Diddy. And I think we're going to see Tilimorf basically be following with Diddy on a pure lead at this point. Because there's the Torian elevator refill. This is a good beam set. And Tilimorf is going to make that check in sequence and is also probably going to then not check anything else. There's a case for right side supers and also for the major or the Chozo item behind Ridley. But I really don't see the runners making different choices from the various suit item. So yeah, that charge beam location could not have been better for Diddy in this case. So if you're rooting for Diddy, you're feeling real good about the charge. If you're rooting for Tilimorf, not so much. You really wanted that to be buried somewhere in like upper wreck ship or something. But at this point, I would say Diddy has pretty much a pure lead because, I mean, a 5 super differential is just like it's inconsequential in the scale of where things are. But Tilimorf is also going to check this miner, sees the power bombs. Runners not getting too lucky with where their items are showing up. But Diddy does know the front of this because this is light area. The aqueduct transition is going to get him into the back of wrecked ship. We'll see. Maybe we'll see a wreck ship E-tank check. It's not great, but it could be Ice Beam, it could be Speed Booster, and realistically, you're looking at the possibilities for those being the wreck ship locations, the remaining East Meridia location, and then also the Crocomire location. And I think we've checked every other Chozo at this point. Oh, Screw Attack as well. Nobody went to Screw Attack. Tilimorf was flirting with the idea. And gets his charge beam. And nice D-boost here on the way out. Got a good high boost, landed on the spikes. And is having a pretty good Coliseum here. And Diddy is going to go check, or maybe? Yes. He's going to go ahead and check what's going on here at the wreck ship E-tank. Is going to find bombs. Is going to get bombs. I don't feel great about that 6.5 seconds there, but you know, you found it, you take it, right? He's trading time with Tilimorf's choice to grab the Spacer. Although Diddy's was less of a face check. So there was like actual equivocation of, do I want this? And I'm curious what the decision was that he decided he did want it. Yeah, Diddy, of course, already knows Ridley's here, not only by virtue of having already killed the other 3 bosses, but scouted this earlier, found Ridley, and did not kill Ridley. In fact, let Ridley kill him. But we've got, basically a free 30 super fight here. Would love to see Diddy just crank some supers into Ridley here. There we go. Those are your best DPS, and he does, because this is an area rando, have a free refill coming when he gets that Torian elevator. Ridley is very clingy today. Grabbing Diddy twice there. Yeah. Definitely agreeing with Nevdi in the would have liked to see some more skips behind go mode, but I also think that I am probably too aggressive with that. But Diddy makes it through his Ridley fight. Good fight. Got through it okay. Did spend a little bit of time and is going to spend a little more time. I don't hate this check though. I like this check, and Space Jump probably going to be worth it. Even just exiting Rex ship and going through Torian, Space Jump not a bad find. I think that's at worst time neutral. So, or the with the item fanfare, it's time neutral. Like once you've already paid to get into and out of the room, I don't think the check is going to work out to be time advantaged, but there was the upside of it could be Ice Beam, and I think that makes that one worth it. And Diddy is checking miners. He's doing all sorts of checking stuff. Maybe he was thinking that that was right side supers and had a chance to be Ice Beam. Not sure. I guess you take supers there. But with Charge Plasma, it's not really that bad. Tilimorf also through Ridley. I think did gain a little bit of time back. Think got grabbed less in that fight. But yeah, I don't think, even if you find supers at that location, that it was the right choice, especially when you factor in the 2-door transitions. So I just don't know what Diddy was hoping to hit there. But Diddy does not need to refill at the ship here, does get a free elevator refill, so is cognizant of that. But yeah, at this point, no more checks for the runners. This is basically just a pure race, and I don't know if Diddy knows which of these is Torian, but he got the right one. I think he saw right side of moat from West Meridia. But we see Diddy does get that full refill. And we'll see if this lead that he has into Torian can hold up. He's got, a pretty solid lead, but not insurmountable. Is using a grouping strat here because he's going to have to powerbomb the Metroids. But Tilimorf also no Ice Beam, also remembering that he's getting this Torian elevator refill. And is going to basically be doing the same thing. There's some potential to save a little bit of time. Diddy getting some good powerbomb grouping strats here. And does have, extra power bombs, so he can just lay him. He's not tight on Peebs. Neither's Tilimorf. But Tilimorf is going to be entering probably Metroid's 2 right about when Diddy is entering the big boy room, so sizable but not impossible lead. Things like baby skip could show up as relevant. Difficulties in escape, difficulties with mother brain fight, choices to save, things like that that could still affect the outcome here. So this skip is a lot like the speed booster skip. You just want to go right when baby starts moving. Diddy went a little bit early. So Tilimorf potential to make up some time here if he's comfortable with his speedless baby skip. The beam set isn't great for it, but Tilimorf does have that spazer beam. It wouldn't be worth the menu, but it is extra thick. And Tilimorf is just going to damage himself down, not go for the baby skip here. Also respectable. I know a lot of runners haven't practiced baby skip in anything but high jump boots and speed booster, and Diddy is taking this save, so he's going to give a little bit of time. A little bit of time back. Well, Nevdi asking how Tilimorf can win, and Tilimorf, because this is, sorry to destroy your immersion. This all happened 10 minutes ago. The race is probably already concluded, but watch this. This is how Tilimorf can win. Diddy taking some saves, having some Zeb troubles. But looks like Diddy is going to make it through Mother Brain 1, and so he does have a pretty chonky lead here. So it would take quite a bit of, something here from Diddy for Tilimorf to overcome this. But Tilimorf's been playing really, really solidly. So is Diddy. But race nerves are a thing, and I have had in races some of my absolute worst Mother Brain rooms and fights. So you never want to see anything bad happen to any of the racers, but there's space for it to still be competitive or to go either way. But a reminder, as both runners are on the Mother Brain 2 fight here at the same time with very comparable loadouts, as Diddy takes a catch-up to the knee that can end your adventuring career right quick. But he gets through. Go follow these guys. They're both awesome. They're both doing a great job racing and streaming, and you're going to want to see more from them. So give them a follow if you're enjoying the race. And once more, shout-outs also to Stack, our tracker, who's been keeping track of the items to these very similar loadouts, but making sure that we do have that spazer and that screw attack on Tilimorf's side. But looks good for Diddy. He's through Mother Brain 2, but so is Tilimorf. I think saved a little bit of time there. The save gave back some time. Slightly cleaner endgame, but as I was saying, like, endgame nerves are a very real thing, and both runners here at 3 and 2 are playing with the knowledge that, they each made some mistakes. They each could have routed differently, made some checks they didn't need to. And, there's very reasonable ways that each runner could be looking at this and saying, this is exactly why my opponent's ahead of me right now. And that puts a lot of pressure on executing this very linear endgame. it's anything but free. This is going to knock one of them out of contention for the playoff play-in race and keep one of them alive into week 7. Only one more week to go, and so one of these players is going to be joining me in the better luck next time in another 4 years graveyard, and one of them is going to be playing a meaningful match in week 7. So a lot on the line here. Diddy is having some trouble here doing some lag corner. I think lag corner is going to be good enough, but it does cost some time. And Tilimorf is going to get right up in there, jumping between the pipes. You love to see it. And is having a little bit cleaner of Mother Brain 3. I don't think it's going to be enough, as Diddy is already in the escape, on his way into room 3 already. So does remember to take the no speed booster path. That was one of Tilimorf's potential chunk time saves, is Diddy thinks he has speed booster. Diddy could potentially try to save the animals. I tried to save the animals in one of these, and I was so upset that Animal Surprise was not turned on. I was legitimately angry. But Diddy gets through the first part of the Leodox room, but this is close. This could be, if the climb goes badly and they don't have speed, so like it could. Oh, and Tilimorf is having the Leodox room problems. So that's not the way to keep things more even. Diddy doing a left side wall jump climb. Looks to be doing A-okay, and unless Parlor goes real bad, this is going to hold up, and Diddy's going to take this one. But this was a hell of a race. I was worried that I would be, a little sleepy for this one. But these runners really kept it entertaining, and no regrets as we see that that Kirby ship won. Not even last time. We're going to see it again. It's going to fly right at us, and heckin'. GG Diddy. Making it through, keeping the playoff hopes alive, as Tilimorf is headed out of the parlor. And yeah, the parlor done. I've lost one of those. It sucks. Big feels to Tilimorf, but big GG's. Great race to both guys, and we'll see if they want to come in and chat about it. But yeah, this one, Diddy's official SRL time, 1 hour, 1 minute, 41 seconds. Tilimorf, 20 seconds behind, 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 1 second. That is not as close as they get. We've had closer already this tournament, and we've had comparable, but this was right up there with them. A really great race by both these guys, and much respect to them. Tilimorf will join me at 3-3. And Diddy is gonna, keep it alive, make it to 4-2, guarantee himself a winning record. But of course, 4-2 into week 7, you've got your eyes on the prize, and are going to be eyeing that 5-2 to make it into that play-in. So, congrats to Diddy on keeping things alive. And here's Diddy, so I can congratulate him all in person, or in voice in the Discord. But GG Diddy, congrats on the win. Did you see where that ice beam was?
No, I didn't. I was waiting for someone to look in the credits.
Yeah, I'm looking. That ammo distribution is looking awful healthy with those power bombs.
Oh yeah, I was really planning on not funding charge, and I saw I cleared most of West Meridia, hoping to find a lot of supers, and I barely had enough to kill Ridley.
Yeah, Tilimorf was a full super pack ahead of you if it was going to come down to miners, and the miners were really kind of dry there at the end. Like your play up to beach returned to super pack, which was good. And it looked like you were really going for miners, but then charge beam really ended up in really the best place for you. Honestly, like finding that there with the way the race was at that
Yeah.
point. And I have a conclusion on Ice Beam from the stream. Ice Beam was at Screw Attack, and Speed Booster, if you checked it, was at Right Side Supers and Wreck Ship. So that one was actually
Okay.
reasonable.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't get out of Screw Attack with my loadout, so I didn't go check. I was planning at first I was planning on reverse Gravitron, no, reverse Amphitheater,
Uh-huh.
and check GT, and then I could check Speed Booster and Wave Beam. And then I figured, well, I can't really go out of Screw Attack room, so might as well skip wall right Norfair.
Yeah, and I mean that absolutely was the call. Tilimorph did the Bubble Mountain checks before finding the Varia suit, and so you were earlier to Varia and were able to cut out that Bubble Mountain stuff, and then Tilimorph also made sort of an ill-advised consideration of playing just Shack Tool and basically went all the way down through West Meridia to the East Meridia portal and turned around back into Red Tower, and then also went in through Gravitron and was looking like he was considering the very difficult to get out of Screw Attack check. And so there were some things where your cognizance about the race and situation, you know, without having insight into exactly what Tilimorph was thinking or not thinking, it seemed like there were just little hiccups and mistakes that you were able to avoid in this one that ultimately made the difference in what was a really tight and well fought race.
Yeah, I mean, I got really lucky to find Varia before clearing East Norfair, and I went ahead and planned like I was ahead, so I wanted to bank on that the most.
Yeah, this one was scary early because you had 3 of the 4 Chozo tanks, which gives you those hell runs, and gravity. So it was like, is it going to send you into Upper Norfair just to go get Ice Beam so you can get through the Batoon hallway, right? Like there's a bunch of dumb things that the seed could do, and then it just ended up giving you Varia at Kraid's Lair. But I,
Yeah,
I was worried for a while about how this one was going to go.
there was Varia at Kretzler and Dragon, so Botwoon was not mandatory at the end.
Exactly. So yeah, that took out the Batuan hallway, so you got to get around looking for speed or ice. I mean, once you got to Kraid's Lair, found Variasuit and Dragon, like that had to feel really good, right? Like you were just like, I feel
Yeah,
like you're just pumping the fist when you see Dragon there and get Varia,
yeah, clearly.
because then it's just a matter of like, am I looking for charge or am I hunting miners? So do you want to tell me a little bit about the choice there on and it looked like, because it looked like you did a little of both. How are you balancing that?
Yeah, I was really planning on going full minors, and then I found like 50% power bombs, and I was like, I might be impossible to find enough miners, but charge beam might be buried deep down in Shack Tool or something horrible like that, like speed. No, there is nothing at Rise of Tank. So after bullying anyway, and I was like, if it's on my way, I'll take it. I'll stop looking for ammo, but I need the ammo. At least I thought I needed the ammo to kill Ridley. I wanted to go at least up to 30 supers to kill Ridley.
Yeah, I mean, totally makes sense. it was nice that you didn't need to worry about those supers until you got back up to the wreck ship. Actually, both of you made the choice early to go into wreck ship and scout the boss. Given that, you know, it's boss shuffle and light area, I was a little surprised to see you both choose to go into Ridley. Why did you choose to scout wreck ship so early?
Because there were two out of the four boss I could clear, and one of them was Fentoon. So I was thinking I could get ahead if it was Fentoon. And my thinking was I can save at cheap, and if there's nothing interesting in Gauntlet and it's something I can beat at Wreck Ship, I can always save scum and go back to the ship, which I ended up not doing because I found Grapple in Gauntlet, and I was like, Grapple can be my way out of Dragon, so I don't want to skip that. And that it didn't pay quite well because I could do the Grapple kill on Dragon, which saved me a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was good, and even space jump as late as you got it, you guys both got space jump, and I think it was absolutely the right call to take it. Um, there's a consideration for not making those checks, but I think with speed and ice both still outstanding, that you're going to check behind Ridley, you're going to check behind
Yeah.
all of these locations that are very quick to do. And so I think you and Tilimorf both played a really nice race overall. I think it was well considered and thought through. And I think at the end of the day, you hit a slightly better route. Tilimorf played really, really cleanly, had slightly cleaner bosses, but I think that you just didn't fall into some of the traps that I think Tilimorf may have slipped into a little bit, and some of the things like almost making that play into East Meridia just for the Shack tool check, for instance.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Tilimorf is better than me skill-wise and movement-wise, so I knew I had to have pretty much a perfect routine because Shozo, I think that Shozo split is more linear and more movement-based, so I had to really pull a really, really good routine to compensate that fact. And the seed was it was a good seed to root, to not just. I mean, all the items were not on your way. You had to make a couple decisions to get them. So I think that's what gave me an edge in that race. Really.
Yeah, I think your assessment is pretty much spot on. I'd say, screen to screen, when you guys had the same loadouts, Tilimorf, saved a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there, but you were able to play a really smart route that worked out really well, and you're able to carry that to a win. So you're at 4-2. You got week 7 ahead of you. Full countdown, full area shuffle, and boss shuffle.
Yeah, that week is gonna be brutal.
How are you feeling? Is there anyone else at X2 you're excited about, or
I'm looking
particularly
forward.
unexcited about?
I mean, I could go against Vibrant Colors because that means one of us would be guaranteed to have a spot in the playing race. So that means at least one French force could go in a playoff. And I ended up against Megu last week, so it would be nice to have another French force fight. Other than that, I'm not really looking forward to any competition because there is, to be fair, a lot of really big names in 4-2 still that I'm pretty much guaranteed to lose against. So I'm gonna have to pull out my A game next week.
Absolutely. I mean, week 7 is shaping up to be really, really fun. Week 7 was, of course, the settings that, like, you look at it at the start when you just look at the calendar and you're like, oh man, that week is gonna be on. So I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting to practice and play that mode and see who I get to race and see who everyone gets to race, because I think it's really going to be fun and down to the wire with competition to see who locks up their spots at X1 and XO, and also you know who's gonna punch their ticket to the play-in race. I think it's gonna be fascinating. But I think I've asked you about just about everything that I kind of had on my list, Diddy, except the choice of the Kirby ship.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I've been playing with Kirby Shape all tournament. I really want to pull out a custom sprite, but they mess up my movement. And for the since I still have a chance of making it to the playoff, I keep playing with Samus. So it's my way of spicing up things, and I think it really looks good. So that's why.
Fair enough. I like that people are having fun with it. I may have ribbed you just a little bit over the Kirby ship in commentary, just because I know it's a contentious thing among chat, and so had some fun with it. But was there anything else that you wanted to comment on with the race?
Oh, I was just thinking that the only two race I lost was full countdown. So hopefully the third week with full countdown is not my demise.
Fair.
And yeah, I think that was a good seed. Could have been really more trolly than it was. So I'm glad it went that well. And really GG to Tilimorf for putting out a great show. 20-second finish race must have been good to watch. So
Oh yeah, it was a blast. It was super entertaining, and I hope that if you choose to watch it back, that my choice of commentary is not too frustrating to you.
oh,
I
not at
feel like
all.
I tried to be fair in my criticisms of each of you, and y'all both were X2 this week, and I was X3. So you know, you ever need to throw them back at me, just scoreboard. Y'all got to play a meaningful match this week. I got to play a fun scrimmage against Krokemeyer that was still a fun race. But yeah, GG. Good luck going forward. Good luck in week 7. And Tilimorf, ever a great sport. Also extending the good luck. Good luck to everyone. And huge thanks to you guys for the race and for letting me commentate it. I'm really glad I was able to stay up late for me and just enjoy the race with y'all.
Yeah, thank you very much for sticking out with us.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that, I think it is about time for us to wrap it up here on Speed Gaming for the evening or the morning. So big GG's one more time to both our winner, Diddy, and our runner-up in this one, Tilimorf. Just an amazing race. Very well fought by both of them. Some really great play on display. So if you did enjoy it, one more time, be sure to go give those guys a follow. They absolutely deserve it. And, again, one more acknowledgement of our tracker Stack, who did a great job tracking those items the entire race. Definitely an unsung hero and kept me in the right place, pointed out where grapple came from when I completely forgot. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out, and stay tuned. We will absolutely see you next mission, as there's a lot more week 6 and week 7 coming before playoffs in this Super Metroid multi-category randomizer tournament 2022. Take care.